Drink beer, it's good for you. I'm empty-handed and I'm feeling blue, and I'm gonna drink till the day that I die.
Hello, and welcome to the second part of this two-part video series. Let us now look further into these three systems before concluding this guide. Let's now look into some more areas of importance when choosing a brewing system, the first being accuracy of temperature. An accurate mash temperature is totally vital to give the beer the desired body. If a system is inaccurate, then the end beer will not have its intended taste profile. This can mean, for example, that your lager tastes heavier than the style intends if the temperatures are higher than intended. Let us start off this process by looking at our budget system, the Bulldog brewer. Here you can see that there is a wide variation between the temperature on the display and the actual temperature. This has all been measured in degrees Celsius. The Bulldog also overshot the final mash temperature of 65 to reach 67, which in reality was 69.4. This means that if you intended to mash at 65 for a medium-bodied beer, you would in reality have got a heavy-bodied beer. Another large issue here is that when you mash out at 75 degrees C, the reality of this temperature using the Bulldog is that you are very close to 80 degrees C, which can lead to astringent flavours in your end beer because the grain should not be heated this high. Sadly, these are very common issues with budget brewing systems where money is saved by not having a quality accurate temperature probe and temperature management system. If the inaccuracy of this system was constant, for example always 5 degrees C inaccurate, then you could easily just build this in as an adjustment into your mash temperature. But as you can see by the results here, it varies quite wildly between 3 degrees C and over 5 degrees C inaccurate. Let's now see how the Grainfather fares in this area. These results that you see here are exactly what we would hope and expect to see. Without spending a great deal more money on an extremely accurate probe, would you see these figures settle down closer. But they are all within a reasonable accuracy and will have no ill effects on the actual brew. No overshooting of temperature was experienced either, and that is due to the technology built into the controller that I mentioned earlier. Let's now see how the Speidel unit performs in this regard. So here are the results for the Speidel. After a surprising inaccuracy of 1.2 degrees C at 38, things settled down nicely for the Speidel. You can see that it becomes more accurate in irregular mash temperatures after 60 degrees C, so nothing to worry about here at all. Lastly, let us look at the speed in which these systems can heat. This is an important area because it will have a direct impact on how many hours your brew will actually take to complete. Here I took 5 litres of water from the same tap and set each system to 65 degrees C. I should also mention that this heating test was done without a lid on top of any of these systems. Now here are the results. Now, whilst we should appreciate that the Braumeister is a smaller system, I was shocked to see how slow it was in this test. It clearly has a very small heating element, quite shocking when you consider its large price point. The fastest of the systems here was the Grainfather, but the Bulldog was not so far behind. So let's now conclude this comparison with some final thoughts. I will begin with a question. What is a buyer looking for when he buys an all-in-one brewing system? Common answers to this will include the following: ease of use, convenience, features to cost, quality, reliability, time factor, accuracy, and flexibility in terms of grain size and volume size. Let's now go over the pros and cons of each system and keep in mind what you are looking for at the same time. So the pros of a Bulldog brewer. Well, for a start it's certainly very cheap. Almost everything you need is in one package for brewing. It has a powerful heating element that goes up to 2500 watts at 240 volts. You can brew smaller batches with it, but this will result in a lower efficiency. And now the Bulldog brewer cons. This system has very poor build quality throughout, and thus becomes rather unreliable. It has inaccurate temperature readings that could change or spoil a brew. It has a very basic controller that is not user friendly, especially when you consider that you need to be on your hands and knees to set it because it is at the bottom of the system. Its poor design adds to system failure, notably the controller and the pump. The pump is also of very poor quality. There is inappropriate material used for the cooling spiral. And now we go on to the pros and cons of a Grainfather. Beginning with the pros. The Grainfather is a true all-in-one package with all attachments included. It has very good build quality and reliability. It also has a very well thought out ecosystem that gives true ease of use for anyone irrespective of experience. The company behind the Grainfather has a really good customer service reputation, and the unit has a very powerful heating ability. There's a lot of high-tech wizardry built into the system that adds some great conveniences that are certainly not offered anywhere else. The unit also has very accurate temperature readings. It can brew both small and full-size batches with very high efficiency. I believe it's very good value when you consider what is on offer. In terms of Grainfather cons, this is what I have. The Grainfather is not the cheapest system on the market. It is only available in one size compared to Speidel's 3-unit range. Bulldog are also adding an extra unit size for 50-litre brews. Because the Grainfather uses a counterflow chiller, you will need to find a solution to know the temperature of the wort within the counterflow chiller while you're cooling. This is easily fixed, but something you will need to add yourself. This can be as simple as using a thermometer in your hand as the wort is leaving the wort out tube, or attaching a fixed thermometer like the Blickman thermometer. And finally, now let's look at the Speidel Braumeister unit in terms of its pros and cons. Starting with the pros, this unit certainly has a premium build quality that is also very sturdy, almost as high as a professional brewing system, but in miniature. Its controller is certainly user-friendly, and it has accurate temperature readings, and the company certainly has a long-standing reputation within the brewing market. The Braumeister cons are that it has a very high price for what is on offer. It really does not feel like good value for money compared to the other systems that are cheaper with greater abilities. It has a limited grain capacity, slow heating times, and a limited control without spending even more money. Despite being the most expensive system here by far, it suffers many downsides and doesn't even include a cooling solution as part of its high price ticket. So there you have it. You now know all the facts to do with these different systems. I do hope this guide has proven to be useful in making your own mind up. I do get a great deal of questions about this very topic, and it was high time that there was such a video available on YouTube. It did take an awful lot of planning and time to make this guide, but I hope you found it to be useful, interesting and enjoyable. So if you did like this video, then please do like it on YouTube. This really helps me out and allows the videos to be seen by a wider audience on YouTube. I have always got a lot of new videos planned for the future, so if you are interested in seeing my new content, then please subscribe for future content. If you have any questions on anything that I have covered in this video or any other video, then please do not hesitate to get in touch with me via YouTube or Facebook. I'm a member of pretty much every Grainfather Facebook group and more. Happy brewing!